You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Y&R fans, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I want to talk about Billy and Sally and the cheaters in their lives. I just can't imagine those two will take it lightly when they find out Adam and Chelsea were getting down and dirty in Baltimore. So is a hot payback fling coming? We're going to dive into it, but if you're not following us yet, please click subscribe. And now let's just discuss this epic betrayal. Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson have been stressed out and heartbroken over their son's OCD diagnosis and the mental health struggle he's in. They have been devastated by his rejection, him doing self-harm, and all the things that have been tormenting poor Connor Newman for quite some time. And let's be real, when people are stressed out, sometimes they make bad choices. And, on top of years of relationship history, Chelsea and Adam poured booze onto the stress, while alone in a hotel room far from their significant others, people they claim to love. And it did, to me, seem to be just a heat of the moment thing, because up until then, there haven't been really any warning signs of a Chatham reunion. No near kisses, no lingering hugs, no fantasizing about each other, the usual groundworks that is laid on soap operas. So while these two sad parents were boozing and banging in Baltimore, though, Sally and Billy were back home worried about them. Billy and Sally even had a couple of nice chats recently about them being supportive of Chelsea and Adam while they deal with the stress of Connor's illness. Neither of these two suspect or even seem to be worried about the possibility of their partners cheating. And so I do think Sally and Billy are both going to be blindsided when this unfaithfulness comes out. What I wonder, though, is how Chelsea and Adam are going to be busted, because the way the truth comes out will determine how Billy and Sally react and how strong that reaction will be. For instance, if Adam and Chelsea went to their partners and confessed, it would go over much better. If Adam tells Sally, look, Chelsea and I had a really bad day with Connor. We had a couple of drinks. We were sad. We were comforting each other. We crossed a line. I'm so sorry. She might forgive him. I tend to think Sally would forgive Adam if he promised it was a one-time thing, wasn't planned, won't be repeated, tells her that he's horribly ashamed, so sorry, and he promised never to be alone with Chelsea again. Then I think Sally might let it go. When it comes to Chelsea and Billy, I do think the same thing applies in terms of her coming to him to confess, but she would have to make more assurances, because Billy has hated Adam ever since Billy Abbott died, and he wasn't a big fan of his before them. So there's a lot more complicated histories between those three than between Sally and Chelsea and Adam. But still, if Chelsea came to Billy and said, I have to confess, I made a huge mistake. It wasn't Adam's fault. We were having a bad day. We had a couple of drinks. Emotions were high. It was awful, and I'm sorry. I think Billy's knee-jerk reaction would be to go over and punch Adam right in the face. But that doesn't mean he wouldn't forgive Chelsea. In fact, I do think he would if she confessed. It's not like Billy has clean hands himself. He slept with his brother's wife multiple times. He's been a repeat cheater throughout his history. So I do think after Billy calmed down, he might let it slide as long as it didn't happen again. Here's the thing, though. First, I don't think Adam and Chelsea are going to come clean. On the most recent episode of Y&R, Sally sensed something was wrong and was asking Adam about Chelsea, but Adam reassured her, no, it's just stress, and he decided not to come clean. And what was really worse was when Sally was hugging him after Adam came home, he was still thinking about being with Chelsea. Same for Chelsea. When she was hugging Billy and greeting, she was thinking about Adam. So here's what I wonder. Are Chelsea and Adam about to start a full-fledged affair, or was it truly just a one-night stand? There are some spoilers this week, Friday the 12th, that say Chelsea sets some boundaries. So I feel like these are probably boundaries with Adam. And I'm just wondering if she tells him, look, we can't let this happen again. We cannot be alone together again, which doesn't seem realistic since they do video calls and stuff with their kid when other people aren't around. But that could still be a ground rule she sets. Or, just hear me out, or if Chelsea and Adam can't keep their hands off each other, maybe she's setting some ground rules to keep their affair hidden. If it is an ongoing affair, obviously it would be a much harder pill for Sally and Billy to swallow. Likewise, if Sally and Billy find out Adam and Chelsea cheated from either a third party or by eavesdropping or catching them together, I think it's going to go nuclear. I honestly hope, what I really hope is that Sally and Billy catch them at it red-handed, just because that's soapier. So when they find out, will Billy and Sally respond in kind? That's the next thing I want to talk about. Will these two decide to hook up in revenge on their cheating partners, or will a hookup just happen organically? I have to say, I think Billy and Sally could have really good chemistry together. They might be fun, especially as a furious couple hell-bent on making their partners pay for betraying them. We know how well Billy does with plotting and revenge, and Sally has a devilish streak that's been buried for quite some time. I'd like to see that scheming side of her come out again. She was much more of a schemer over on Bold and Beautiful, and she was when they first brought her to Y&R, but they've toned her down so much. I'd like to see her fiery and furious, and Billy fired up and angry too. And if these two were, say, venting to each other about the cheaters, about Chelsea and Adam, I could see emotions running so high that Billy and Sally could get carried away, start making out, wind up in the bed or on the desk or wherever. And really, Chelsea and Adam would kind of deserve it, right? I acknowledge they were in a stressful situation, but pouring booze onto hurt feelings and anxiety just doesn't result in good things happening. I can't think of one situation where it has. So will Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra wind up doing the deed to get revenge on the cheaters in their lives? Maybe. It would certainly be a wicked fun plot for Sweeps. Thanks for listening.